Omera, before I begin, I'd like to ask, what's in your cup? Is it provocation or is it peace? I am the Kikombe, your second favorite storyteller, and today I serve you a story that's brewed in the innocence of childhood and stirred by the fire of neglect. Buckle up. When the blood of a child stains the brew, the village must taste it, even if they pretend it's tea. I'm not mad. Mimi sio mwenda wazimu. That is what she said as she stood outside the law courts that day, and she held onto her son's photo like a shield. I am not mad. I am not insane. I just want justice. And 1 year later, Jacinta is still looking for the politician who promised to help her find justice for her son. She's still holding on to a conversation that ended before it began. She says she spoke to that politician. Yes. She says he told her that justice will be served. But up to now, 1 year later, Jacinta is still swimming in tears of pain. She still dreams of the day she will be woken up from this painful nightmare that would assure her that her son's painful death would not go unaccounted for. And 1 year later, the very reason her beloved son died is the very reason our country burns with echoes of shame, echoes of impunity, echoes of other parents losing their children in the hands of those people that are meant to protect them. Echoes of Albert Ojwang, Boniface Kariuki, and many others whose deaths have been live streamed for us to swallow the fear. The list is so long that 2 weeks after we lost Albert, there were reports by IPOA that there were at least 20 people that lost their lives in the hands of those people that were meant to protect them. How does a country that preaches peace and harmony and Hakuna Matata get here? Omera, before we go on, let me remind you that a story is not complete until it has the flavor of a flashback. So let's go back to the day that he was born. Let's go back. Kennedy Onyango. He came into this world like a shining light through a cracked wooden door. Not rich, not famous, but full of promise. He was her third child. And even from early on, you could tell that there was something special. Kuna kitu hapa, I say. There's something here. You know those kids that are always asking questions? Nini nini daddy? Hapa ni wapi? Tunaenda wapi? Umekula? Tunakula nini? How do birds fly? Pencil inafanyika kazi aje? He was always drawing as well. He was always reading. He was a keen kid. He was an inquirer. And he would borrow books from his friends, his neighbors, and then he would spend the time sketching in old exercise books. And sometimes he would even teach his siblings what he had learned at school. And his mom was one lady that cleaned other people's clothes, Mama Fua. You know Mama Fua. We call them that in Kenya. And Kennedy would always say, Mom, one day, I will make you rest. One day, I will get a nice job that will get you out of this job. And I think he meant it. And Jacinta could see the truth and conviction in Kennedy's eyes. And you know, by the way, his siblings were born sick. I think he was sickle cell anemia from what she says. And even as a young kid, Onyango understood the matesos of those hospital lines, the pain, the cost, the humiliation. And often he would say to his mom, "Mom, when I grow up, I will become an artist and I will sell my work and make loads of money. And when I make loads of money, I will take my siblings to hospital and they will be healed. And you know what? I will pay your rent as well." So do you see why Jacinta cannot just move on? Do you see why she cannot just quit this WhatsApp group and not have a final say? Do you see that? This boy was not just a son. Onyango was her hope, her helper, her home. Now, in June 2024, Onyango had just finished his school exams. He left the house that day because he wanted to borrow a book from his friends, one of his friends. Just a book, not a stone, not a placard, not a sign, not a slogan, not a rock. Because you know what was going on in Kenya then, eh? And then as he went out, bam! Bullets tore through his little body. Not one bullet, not two, not three. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At this point, let me remind you that this is a 12-year boy. We haven't stopped counting yet. A small Kenyan boy, 12 years old, shot 7. And one more, 8. 8 times. Young, hopeful Kenyan boy, gone. Do you know what the worst thing is? They tried to spin it. They said he was in the protests. They said he was shot by someone else. But you know how it is. The autopsy never says the opposite. It says the truth. Like pregnancy, it cannot be hidden forever. There were bullets fired from a trained hand. And even then, what did we get? We got silence. We got press statements. And then there was the politician. Do you remember the politician? He said it live on TV. He said, "I will call the mother and I will meet her." Omera, don't pretend you forget that he tried to convince us that that young boy was still alive, that Onyango was alive. Alive! 12-year-old who was shot 8 times. He was shot. He was shot in the back. So Kenya, what's in your cup? Is it memory? Is it truth? Or have you added so much sugar that you cannot taste injustice anymore? This is not just a story about a boy. This is a painful mirror for a country. Our country. And until Kennedy Onyango's loss is not drowning in lies, until our own are accountable and not banging their heads to death in police cell walls, until we bury lies, we will continue to bury our children swimming in blood. I am the Kikombe, your second favorite storyteller, and the story has been poured. Niko njaa hata siwezi karanga, uhehahe shagala bagala. Niko tayari kulipa gharama, sitasimama maovu yakitawala. Sitasimama maovu yakitawala.